One of them openly admitted he couldn't stand the other.
I can't stand this guy.
So why did the whole tennis world break when their final showdown was finally taken away? This is what happens when the most disciplined champion the sport has ever produced collides head-on with its most ungovernable talent.
I just wanted to throw my racket at him.
One built his legend on routine. The other burned the rule book for fun.
When he's doing the other stuff, of course I don't like it.
Rafael Nadal, the machine, relentless, endless. Every point played like it's his last. Nick Kyrgios, the storm, brilliant 1 second, self-destructing the next.
Play FIFA, it's in 3 a.m. What do you expect?
Impossible to predict, impossible to ignore. They were never supposed to share a sport. For nearly 10 years, they didn't. They collided. Again, and again, and again. This is the rivalry that didn't just entertain tennis, it exposed it. Wimbledon, 2014. Nadal is the king. Two-time champion. World number 1. Untouchable on grass. Across the net stands a teenager almost nobody outside Australia has heard of. A wild card ranked deep in the triple digits. Nothing to lose, and zero fear in his eyes. And then it happens. The kid serves like a cannon. Shots that make no sense. Between the legs winners, no-look passes, serves nobody can read. The crowd doesn't know whether to gasp or laugh. Nadal fights. He always fights. But this night belongs to the unknown. And here's what makes it dangerous. For almost any young player, beating Nadal at Wimbledon is the launch pad. The beginning of greatness. For Kyrgios, it became a curse, because from that night on, the world knew exactly what he was capable of. They'd seen the ceiling, and every time he tanked, every time he argued with an umpire instead of competing, it got measured against this. The night he proved he could beat anyone. He showed everyone the mountaintop, then spent years being punished for refusing to live there. Because underneath everything, these two had opposite relationships with the sport itself. For Nadal, tennis is sacred. The effort is the point. Respect for the game isn't separate from his greatness. It is his greatness. For Kyrgios, that same reverence felt like a cage. Something in him needed to prove you didn't have to suffer to be great.
And I just I wanted to show people that you could just be chilled and have fun and beat someone like that.
That you could mock the whole thing, hit an underarm serve at the worst possible moment, and still win. So they were never really playing a tennis match. They were two ways of living, colliding on a court. And it was about to boil over. For a while, the universe corrects itself. Nadal goes back to being Nadal. Titles. Number 1. The grind that never stops. And every time they meet, the lesson repeats. Raw talent is loud, but discipline is louder. The matches get tighter, more personal. Stares, silences, little gestures that say more than any press conference. And then it explodes. Acapulco, 2019. This is the one everyone remembers. Kyrgios starts the match looking half gone, flat, like he's already somewhere else. And then a switch flips, and he becomes the best player on the planet. Underarm serves, racket swaps between points. Match points saved that have no business being saved. He dares the crowd to turn on him, and they do. Nadal is furious. Quiet, controlled, but furious.
Well, you were wondering about the underarm serve earlier, Miles.
This isn't how the game is meant to be played, and everyone in that building can feel it. When it ends, there's no warmth at the net. Just two men who do not understand each other and won't pretend otherwise. Same match, two completely different stories. Nobody in the middle agreeing on what they just watched. And just like that, a tennis match became a culture war.
Boos from the crowd.
Wimbledon, 2019. The same stage where it all began. 5 years older, 10 times angrier. This time Nadal is ready. No teenage ambush. He locks in early and refuses to give the Storm any oxygen. But Kyrgios didn't come to play tennis. He came to perform. An argument over time violations.
Do it. It's only taking you 20 years.
I do it whenever I want. I do it whenever I want.
So much power, huh? Feels good.
Time.
Feels good for you, huh? Wow.
And then, the moment. A forehand fired straight at Nadal at the net. No apology, no flinch, just a shrug. Nadal stares him down. The whole of center court holds its breath. Half the crowd loves it, half are horrified, all of them are watching. The Wall wins this round, but the Storm doesn't care about losing pretty. The Storm just wants you to remember the show. And everyone does.
I don't care. Why would I apologize?
And then, when everyone expected another war, something strange happened. Australian Open 2020. The build-up is loud, the history is louder, and then the chaos goes quiet. Kyrgios talks about respect instead of revenge.
Me and Rafa don't like each other at all. I think we respect each other's games. I just think two different personalities.
What follows is one of the best matches of the entire tournament, and underneath all the noise, the truth finally shows itself. These two brought out something in each other that nobody else could. Nadal made Kyrgios care. Against Nadal, the tanking stopped. The boredom vanished. You finally saw the player he could have been every single day. The legend forced the rebel to show up, and Kyrgios made Nadal vulnerable. He dragged him out of his rituals, into chaos, into a kind of match discipline alone couldn't win.
When he's playing like today with this positive attitude, he gives a lot of positive things to our sports. Honestly, he's one of the highest talents that we have on our tour, and I like the Kyrgios of during the whole this tournament.
And that's the part most people miss. Every great era in any sport needs this exact thing. The friction, the contrast, order against chaos, the establishment against the outsider. We tell ourselves we want our heroes pure and our villains simple. But that's never what we remember. We remember the tension, the matches where we genuinely didn't know whose side we were on. The rebel makes the legend look heroic. The legend makes the rebel matter. Which is exactly why a match that never happened could break so many hearts. Wimbledon, 2022. This is where the story is supposed to end. The fairy tale. Kyrgios reaches his first Grand Slam semifinal. Mature, focused, playing the best tennis of his life.
Yeah, obviously it would be pretty special to play Rafa here. You know, he's won one against me and I've won one against him, so two completely different personalities. So I feel like that would be a mouth-watering kind of encounter for everyone around the world. You know, that would probably the most watched match of all time.
The dream collision. The same court where the whole saga began. 8 years later, with everything on the line. The most anticipated match of the tournament. Maybe the year. The whole tennis world holds its breath. And then the news breaks. Nadal is hurt. A tear. He can't continue. The match is gone. No final chapter. No last duel. No answer to the question everyone had been asking for nearly a decade. When it mattered most, on the biggest stage, who would have won? We will never know. When Nadal finally walks away from the sport for good, it's Kyrgios, the rebel, the agitator, the man who once said he couldn't stand him, who sends one of the most heartfelt tributes of all. You don't realize how much you loved the fight until there's no one left to fight. So let me leave you with the one question I can't answer myself. That match that never happened, who walks off center court the winner? Tell me in the comments, be honest. I have a feeling it's going to get heated down there. And if this made you see these two a little differently, a like genuinely helps it reach more people. Subscribe for more deep dives like this, and I'll see you in the next one.